All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the board meeting this morning, I'm going to ask Mr. Battles if he would lead us in prayer and the pledge for this board meeting. Mr. Battles?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this blessed day as we come here to continue to fund the education of our students and our faculty and our staff and our employees in the Mobile County Public School System. This is not really my last day, it's only today is the beginning of a new era of moving into Africa Town to continue to spread the message of hope about the history of those people who came in 1859. But bless this board and bless this school system as they will continue to make prudent decisions that will bring about a quality of change for us and for our students. Our students are who they are. Mr. Good Spade Williams, who is my assistant principal at Dunbar, said, what you are going to be, you are now becoming. And I hope that be the slogan for our students so they can make all the strides that they can. And we want to continue to know that although I will not be a sitting member of the Mobile Public School System, that my colleagues and the superintendent and the board and all the school system employees will always be in my heart. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Battles.
Thank you.
This October 26, 2020 board meeting will come to order. Do I hear an approval of the minutes?
So moved.
We have a motion to approve the minutes in a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Do I hear a motion for an agenda adoption?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion for agenda adoption and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Announcements. Mr. Superintendent?
No, sir.
Mr. Harwell?
No, sir.
Mr. Battles?
I don't really have an announcement. I'm not going to say a farewell speech either. But I'm just going to say that these 6 years has really been an educational opportunity for me. I come from a humble beginning. In 1967, I entered the University of South Alabama as a student, which brought about a great acculturation of my spirit about what life is all about. I started off in the spirit of hate and racism because that's the way I was raised. I was brought up in a segregated system. But through it all, as I depart today, though, I've come to a conclusion that we're all in this together, and the only way that we're going to make it is to stick with each other. So I'm not going to bid you farewell. I'm going to just say so long, because I'm going to still be in the superintendent's ear and the board. But more importantly, though, the people who I've touched over these 6 years, the Apostle Paul on his final missionary journey says, I have fought a good fight. I have kept the faith in God. I have fought a good fight because I've helped a lot of people in my 6 years. I've got people jobs. I've helped people who should have been fired not get fired. And and then at the same time, I've had some discontent because of the lack of progress, especially as it related to my district, because it was in my district that has a traditional experience east of I-65 of being left behind in the education process in Mobile. But with the opening of Barton Academy, for which I had no input in as a young man, I'll be 75 next month, I had no input in, but now I'll be able to work and to make sure that African American children understand who they are and where they come from, and that before 1619 in Jamestown, Virginia, that was Alexander Egypt and Timbuktu, which they could refer back to that history. So I think that'll be a great milestone. But more importantly, though, I'd just like to leave my colleagues with the message of hope that we'll always be colleagues, despite all the negative, because Francis Capel said, I might disagree with every word you say, but I'll defend with my life your right to say it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Battles, and appreciate those comments. And 6 years seems to fly by pretty fast, doesn't it?
I'm 75.
Dr. Foster.
I have no comments.
Okay, we're going to move on now to reports and recognitions. Ms. Phillips.
We have several today. So first I would like to call forward Dr. Foster, and Baker teacher Marcy Hines, and Principal Mr. Pruitt. You guys go over there. If you want to scoot over there and put Marcy here. Baker High School teacher Marcy Hines was named Alabama's History Teacher of the Year by the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History, and she was named one of the top 12 history teachers in the nation. Ms. Hines, who has degrees from the University of South Alabama and Spring Hill College, was recently awarded the prestigious James Madison Fellowship, through which she is pursuing a master's degree in education with a concentration in constitutional studies. You may recognize her from teaching 10th grade American history on MCPSS TV's live lessons this past spring. Mrs. Hines has passion for history and technology, and that has been combined in her classroom. Her students have reaped the benefits. She creates a classroom atmosphere in which history is directly correlated to students' lives. And when students leave her classroom, they are engaged and informed citizens. Congratulations on this national recognition.
Dr. Foster, I want to let you know it warms my heart greatly that being a former history teacher, social studies teacher, that we had someone who's reached such great heights like that. So congratulations to you. You're going a little too far. Oh, gracious
Okay,
me.
and if Dr. Foster, if you can stay here, and Mr. David Dye, and Bryant High School Principal, Mr. Sprinkle, if you want to stand right here. And I do want to recognize Mrs. Dye is here. Okay, so last spring we recognized David Dye, a teacher at Bryant High School, for being Mobile County's High School Teacher of the Year. Today I am proud to announce that he has since been named Alabama's Alternate Teacher of the Year. He was runner-up for Alabama's Teacher of the Year and is the top high school teacher in the state of Alabama. So raised in Biola Battery, Mr. Dye graduated from Bryant High School before earning bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Alabama. He returned home to teach mathematics and to be a positive role model for his students. Courses he has taught include Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebraic Connections, Discrete Math, and ACT Math Prep. He co-sponsors Bryant Scholars Bowl and High-Q teams, the Student Government Association, and Youth Activist Coalition. He taught Algebra 1 as part of MCPSS TV's live lessons this past spring. He has also coached Ultimate Frisbee and Disc Golf after school. He has led a book study with his colleagues at Bryant to support peer collaboration and teacher growth. Congratulations for representing your alma mater, Mobile County, and now the entire state of Alabama.
David, on behalf of the board of school commissioners and our superintendent, we want to say congratulations once again, as we did back some time ago when you were named the county teacher of the year. I'm certainly glad that you represent value and where I'm going.
And we were blessed to get to know both of them during the live lessons this spring, and so were our students to get to see them in action. And now I'd like to call forward Mr. Stringfellow, and I'll probably get in trouble for this one, but Mr. Cressel Threadgill.
Don't worry, we'll protect you.
All right. So we knew he was the best superintendent in Alabama, and now he has the official title to prove it. Mr. Cressel D. Threadgill, Superintendent of Mobile County Public Schools, was named Alabama Superintendent of the Year by the School Superintendents of Alabama. A graduate of Mobile's LaFleur High School, Troy State University, and Alabama State University, Mr. Threadgill served in leadership roles across Alabama before returning to his hometown to serve as our Chief of Staff. And then in July of 2018, this board appointed him as superintendent. He has the unique distinction of serving as superintendent of both one of the smallest systems in Elba and the state's largest school system, Mobile County. Over the 22 years of his educational career, he has held almost every position, from teacher and coach to principal to director of several central office positions. As superintendent of Mobile County, he has overcome many challenges, I'm going to take this off, that the district has never seen before, including the COVID-19 pandemic. Under his leadership, Mobile County Public Schools received national recognition for broadcasting classroom lessons for students in all grades live on local television during the stay-at-home order. He has gone outside the walls of the classroom to build lasting partnerships with other local governmental agencies and organizations. His academic focus and innovation moved Mobile County from a C to a B on the state report card. He has grown district leaders through a new leadership academy, and he has moved MCPSS toward becoming a one-on-one district. Mr. Threadgill has a passion for doing what is best for all children, and his philosophy is deeply ingrained in the work he does each day to serve the students of Alabama. Congratulations to Alabama's Superintendent of the Year.
Mr. Threadgill, I have here a certificate of recognition from the board that's awarded to Mr. Cressel D. Threadgill, Alabama Superintendent of the Year, and the School Superintendent of Alabama. It's signed by all of the board members, and if I don't mind, I'd like to have all the board members come up this week and have our picture made with Mr. Threadgill. But I want to say that we've been, as Ms. Phillips has to say, very proud of the accomplishments that Mr. Threadgill has helped out with Mobile County. And as you know, we extended this contract for 3 years because we didn't want to lose this guy, okay? Because he's doing a wonderful job. And we can't be more proud of what you're doing. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, when I said
Y'all heard that, right? All right, ready, 1, 2, 3, smile. All right.
It's good for this
well, I just want to be very, very brief. I do want to thank the board for, I don't need that, for having the confidence in me to do this job. But I do want to recognize my team, my executive staff, my principals, all the way down to the custodians and bus drivers. It was a team effort, and this does not mean that we will be complacent. This is just the beginning. Now it's time for us to really start working. So again, I thank each and every one of you, and I just thank you for this recognition. Thank you.
And now we have one more. Mr. Stringfellow is going to come forward to recognize our outgoing board member, Mr. Robert Battles.
If you come forward, please. At least for one more time.
I'll send you my office too.
Well, Mr. Battles, I just want to let you know that it's been a wonderful 6 years, and I know you're going to keep coming back to see us. But we certainly appreciate all of the work that you did for our students and our community, and also your district, as I see some of your principals here today. And we certainly wish you the very best in the future endeavors and things that you have a couple of flags back here for you. So one of this is in recognition and appreciation to Mr. Robert Battles Jr., or senior, I'm sorry, and School Board Commissioner, District 4, Mobile County Public School System. And it's over here signed by the Superintendent, Professor Fred Gill, and our Board of School Commissioners. I'll give it to you. Now, well, we're not through. We have another plaque. Got the gavel right here. You can rip that thing off and use it. This is to Mr. Robert E. Battles Sr., okay? School Board Commissioner, District 4, November 2014 to 2020. And on here it has all of the schools that you represented. And I want to read something here that I think was close to your heart that was added. It says, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 1:7. So I think that speaks well for you.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Hold those up first and get pictures.
The only thing I like to see finally is that Doris Kearns Goodwin, who is a historian, she says that if those who are privileged can look through the eyes of the people who are underprivileged, that they could see Jesus. That's been my motto for the last 6 years of trying to look through all of the eyes, regardless of race, creed, color, ethnicity, or national origin. So I'm not really gone. My spirit will still be here. But at the same time, I just wish success for my colleagues and for the superintendent, who I support wholeheartedly, and who not only the superintendent of the year, but he's my superintendent.
Now, Mr. Battles, we'd like you to have a seat because some of your principals and schools have a very important message for you.
Welcome.
Mr. Martin?
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Oh, no, yes.
Good morning, everyone. To the board members, Mr. Fred Gill, Dr. Brackens, and the central office staff that's represented this morning, and also to you, Mr. Battles, Mr. Robert Battles Sr. We want to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your retirement as Commissioner of District 4. On behalf of myself and all of the schools that make up District 4, we want to say thank you. Thank you for your commitment, your drive and determination in making District 4 the best it could be. This morning, we want to take time to show you just how much we appreciate you. With that being said, let's get this show on the road. Our first school that will be represented will be Mr. White from Murphy High School. Mr. White, please unmute your mic and begin.
Well, my name is Alex White, and I'm the band director here at Murphy High School. Today I have a group of students here to play a selection in honor of you and your service to our schools. Thank you for all your hard work, and congrats. Mark time. Mark up. 1, 2, ready.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White from Murphy High School. At this time, we'd like for BC Rain High School, Mr. Jackson, if you would, unmute your mic and begin.
Here from the illustrious Ben C. Ray High School, located at 3125 Dolphin Island Parkway in the Christopher Rover Band Room. We, the Sound of Spirit Drumline and course director Roderick Fry would like to thank Commissioner Battles for all he has done for the music and arts.
Fired up, Mr. Battles, fired up. Ooh, fired up, Mr. Battles, fired up. Ooh, fired up, Mr. Battles, fired up. Ooh, fired up, Mr. Battles, fired up. Ooh.
Mr. Battles, on behalf of BC Rain High School, we thank you so much for your dedication and commitment to BC Rain and to Mobile County Public School System, and we know that this is just the beginning. Just the beginning. There's so much more God has in store. Just the beginning. It's not the end. This is just the overture. Just the beginning. I know that, but you still haven't seen God's best. Not yet. I already know God's been good to you. I already know God's been faithful to you. I already know He's done some incredible things. So I declare and I decree, I prophesy with authority that you haven't seen your best days yet. Thank you.
Thank you, BC Rain High School, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Fry. At this time, I would ask that Mr. Patton from Williamson High School unmute your mic and begin.
We would like to say thank you to Mr. Robert Battles for your many contributions to Williamson High and Middle Grades Preparatory Academy, as well as your support for the Mighty Marching Lions Band. We are so glad for the work you've done while serving District 4.
Thank you, Mr. Patton. And we as in high school, I do believe that we have Mr. Lang in the audience. Mr. Lang, at this time, if you would like to share some words.
Mr. Robert E. Battles Sr., School Board Commissioner, District 4. The man, a real man. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, the ultimate measurement of a man is not where he stands in times of convenience or comfort, but where he stands in times of challenges and controversy. Mr. Ballard, I can often say that you have always been there for us in District 4, for the students, the parents, the employees, and especially for me, fighting to make sure that we had justice and equality, fighting to make sure that we had all the proper resources, facilities, and the best opportunity to be successful in the global society. Mr. Ballard, you often would say that I will not fight for you, but I will fight with you. So, Mr. Ballard, I want to say on behalf of the faculty, staff, and student body at Little B. Williamson High School, thank you for being there for us. Thank you for fighting a good fight. And I'm proud to say that because of your efforts, 400 middle school students have seen a dream become a reality with the building, the Leonard G. Johnson complex coming on our campus. The ultimate question that many people will ask, was Mr. Ballard successful as a school board commissioner? And the answer would be soundly yes. And they ask me, how do you know? I can say, you can tell by the fruit he bears. Mr. Battles, on behalf of Team DH, we'd like to present you on your retirement. Thank you for a job well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lang. I appreciate your work too.
Thank you for those words, Mr. Lane. At this time, we ask that LaFleur High School, Mr. Stanifer, if you would unmute your mic and present your presentation.
Good morning, and what a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for inviting us to help celebrate the Honorable Mr. Robert Battles. Mr. Battles has done so much for this school and so much for this band that if we had all day to try to calculate and add it up, we couldn't. This man was an advocate of the school system long before he ran for school board commissioner. I've known Mr. Battles a long time, and it's my pleasure to say thank you so much for everything that you have already done for us. And I know you're not finished, but on your behalf, we would like to present this song for you. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Up front. Hey, and up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, LaFleur High School and Mr. Standiford. I do believe we have Mr. Henderson in the audience. If you would at this time, Mr. Henderson.
Good morning. Mr. Battles.
Yes, sir.
I want to say thank you for being a voice for many of those who feel like they have no voice. Thank you for fighting for many of those who feel like they can't fight for themselves. And it is my pleasure on behalf of the LaFleur High School feeder parent to say thank you and congratulations on your retirement, and we wish you nothing but happiness and success as you move on to your next chapter. And I would like to present these items to you as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Bell.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson from LaFleur High School. Our last presentation this morning comes from Callaway Smith. Ms. Stadmeyer, if you are ready, we're ready for you to unmute your mic and put the show on the road.
Mute your camera. Can I see you? Imagine me loving what I see when the mirrors look at me, 'cause I imagine me in a place of no insecurities, and I'm finally happy 'cause I imagine me letting go of all of the ones who hurt me, 'cause they never did deserve me. Can you imagine me saying no to thoughts that try to control me, remembering all you told me? Lord, can you imagine me over what my mama said, hearing what my daddy did, and I wanna live and not read that page again. Imagine me being free, trusting you totally. Finally, I can. Imagine me, I am in it was hard to see, you being in love with someone like me. Finally, I can. Imagine me, oh, oh. Gone, all gone, gone. shall prosper. His won't work. God will do what He said He will do. He will stand by His word. He will come through. God will do what He said He will do. He will stand by His word. He will come through. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. It won't work. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. It won't work. Thank you, Mr. Battles. We love you.
We love you.
Thank you, Callaway Smith. Before we conclude, I'd like to take this opportunity to allow just a couple of our feeder pattern principals just to say a word. I know the superintendent is prompt on time, so our principals have been prompt to know the time that they've been allotted just to say words of encouragement. When that being said, when I call your school's name, if you are present, if you will unmute your mic and share your words. Continuous Learning Center. Council Traditional School.
Good morning, Mr. Battles. On behalf of the faculty staff at Council Traditional School, we thank you for your service to our school and our entire Down the Bay community. We ask God's blessing on your retirement.
Craighead Elementary School.
Mr. Battles, thank you for being an advocate for our children and the Maysville community. We wish you well. We wish you good health. We will truly miss you and all of the support that you've lended through the years. Thank you so much for your service to Irving Craighead Elementary School and District 4. And we have one more speaker, Mr. Sanderson.
My name is Daniel Howard. I am a third grade student from Craighead Elementary School. I am the grandson of Mr. Battles. We will miss you. We will miss you, but I will still see you at home one day.
Thank you.
Lady Craighead and Council. Dunbar Magnet. Ishell Mertz Elementary. Gilliard Elementary. Hall Elementary. Howard Elementary.
Good morning, Mr. Battles. We really do appreciate everything that you have done for Florence Howard Elementary students, faculty, and staff. You have definitely been an advocate for this entire community, and we wish you well during the next chapter of your life.
Just for Development. Lioncoff Elementary. Maryville Elementary. I do believe I just saw Lioncoff. I'm sorry, just four. Ms. Barr, did you have something you'd like to say? Okay? She might be having some technical difficulties. Maryville Elementary. Morningside Elementary.
Hello, Mr. Battles, we thank you for your support for Morningside Elementary, and we wish you well in your retirement. Thank you and Godspeed.
And Pillins Elementary. I'm sorry, Pillins Middle, excuse me.
Good morning, Mr. Battles. I'm Leslie Thompson Love, and I bring you greetings and well wishes from Palmer Pillins Middle School, where it is always a great day to be an Eagle. I want to extend a sincere apology on behalf of Ms. Hollins in her absence, who is unfortunately under the weather at this time. On behalf of the students, parents, faculty, staff, administrators, and of course our principal, Ms. Hollins, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your retirement. We want that we appreciate your many years of service, hard work, and dedication as a representative and advocate of District 4. We thank you for your optimistic attitude and your unwavering spirit of excellence and commitment to education for Palmer Pillins Middle School, as well as our community. It is our hope and prayer that God continues to bless and keep you, and that He continues to order your steps as you embark on your next endeavors. Again, congratulations on your retirement, and we wish you well from Palmer Pillins Middle School.
We'd like to thank all of our principals that spoke and those that weren't able to do so. Mr. Battles, we thank you for all of your hard work and dedication that you have provided for us in District 4. And this presentation is just a small glimpse of how grateful we are for the things that you have provided to us, your vision, and the expectations that you've charged us to do as your term in District 4. On behalf, I'd like to thank the board members as well as the superintendent for allowing this opportunity to take place on your behalf. And I sure would like to thank Ms. D.H. Walton, because it was her leadership that got all of us together to be able to do what we wanted to do, but she was the mouthpiece and the advocate to get into the ear of our superintendent to make sure that we could make this day a success. This does include our presentation, and thank you all again for the opportunity.
Before we move on with our agenda items and requests, Mr. Battles, you might want to see Mr. Lewis Anderson, the Director of Facilities. He may have a truck or something he can help you take all of this stuff out with like that, okay?
But I'd like to have the truck.
Okay. All right, we're going to move on now. Mr. Superintendent, any citizens' requests today?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to move on to the action items at this time.
All right, before I begin, I would be remiss if I didn't just real quick show my appreciation and tell Mr. Battles how much I really do appreciate him. But it does concern me, the statement you made that you will not be gone, that you'll still have my ear. So that's kind of concerning to me. But nevertheless, I really do appreciate the support you have always given me since I've been back home. So I really do appreciate that.
You deserve every bit of it, and Dr. Brackens too.
Thank you, sir. All right, getting started with our action items, I do want to, I have 5 items that I need to add to the agenda. The first action item is G1. It's for our step raise. As I told you at the work session that we will be adding this item. I do have a policy that's in draft that our attorneys have. We will be vetting that for a month before we get it on the agenda. So that is moving forward. So action item G1 would be our step raise, to approve our step raise. Action item G4 is the Learning Tree from the Alabama State Department of Education. This is simply flow-through funds for our Learning Tree students to provide appropriate education for the least restricted environment to our school-age kids. This is, again, flow-through money from the Department of Education, which is $3,548,572.30. That's action item G4. Also being added is action item G8, Presence Learning, to retain services, to provide services by a licensed clinician and access online platform for K-12 special education students. That's federal funds coming out of CARES Act for $401,025. That's action item G8. Action item G17 is AAA Building and Office Management for St. Dominic's Catholic School. It's to terminate an agreement that was approved by the board on August the 24th, 2020. Those funds was coming out of CARES Act funds for $37,200, and that's action item G17. Also being added is action item G33, is a revise of the Title IX procedures for facility usage. On May 6, 2020, the U.S. Department of Education Office of Civil Rights released more than 2,000 pages of materials containing new Title IX regulations governing sexual harassment and sexual assault on school campus. So we had to adjust at least 6 of our Title IX procedures. That is action item G33. And that's all of the action items. So with that being said, I will begin with action item G1. It's the approval of the step raise.
Mr. Chairman.
Dr. Foster.
Inasmuch as we've delved into these extensively since Wednesday of last week, I move that we approve items 1 through 20.
All right.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve action items G1 through 20. There is a second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Mr. Superintendent.
Okay, action item G21 is the United Methodist Children's Home. This is to provide tutoring for the employees of United Methodist Children's Home for the extended day and the school year and also the summer. That's coming out of federal funds of N&D money not to exceed $8,000. I ask that you approve action item G21.
Mr. Chairman.
Dr. Foster.
Move approval of items, agenda items 21 through 41.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve action items G21 through G41, and there's been a second. Any further discussion? No further discussion? All in favor?
President.
Yes, sir?
The only thing I would like, Mr. Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Is on that list of requirements for Title IX.
Yes, sir.
I would like to have a copy of that.
Okay.
It's on there, son.
Yeah, it should be.
I'll print you a copy.
Yeah, we'll get you a copy.
Okay.
It's on that $10 here.
Right, we'll get you a lot.
All
Okay.
right.
That's your last request for this.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries.
All right, consent agenda. I do have an item that I need to add. That would be H8, and that's Seesaw Learning for George Hall Elementary School. And that is to provide Seesaw for George Hall Elementary School for 230 pre-K to third grade students. And Seesaw is a student-driven digital portfolio and parent communications that's coming out of local funds for $1,265. So that item HA will be added to the consent.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
Mr. President.
Sir? Mr. Battles?
Item 1 on the consent to, what is that, item 11.
H1?
H1.
Yes, sir.
Through age 14.
Through age 14.
Age 12, rather, because you're going to do the various bits now.
Okay.
That included in there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah,
So-
to 14.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion.
Second.
And a second to approve consent agenda items H1 through 14. Any further discussion?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Just don't remind, at the work session, I talked about H9, and just want to follow up with that and ask the superintendent and board president if we can put a committee together as soon as we can to discuss that item and move forward so that we can get this in place before the start of school next year.
I agree with that, Mr. Superintendent. I assume you will look into that matter. Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Harwell. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay. We have no student expulsions that I see, Mr. Superintendent. Next, we have our information on the monthly financial statement and the purchase orders 5,000 over. Ms. Zarlat, I wanted to commend you for separating those large items. It was extremely noticeable and caught my eye, and I'm sure it did the other board members also. So thank you very much for doing that. Helps get rid of some of that confusion. Okay, Mr. Attorney, what do you have for us?
I sent the board 2 emails regarding proposed suspension agreements. One of them on the 20th and one of them on the 21st.
Okay.
For the board to consider.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
Chairman.
Sir?
Move approval of the attorney's suggestion that we approve those 4 items that he had forwarded to us.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the settlements in this particular case that the attorney sent out. Any further discussion on this item? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that takes us to scheduling of meetings. Now, first thing, Ms. Phillips, you want to tell the board members about the Miracle Tree change and not Miracle Tree, I mean Miracle Park.
Right, so it's not official yet. We'll nail down the exact time. We're thinking 11 a.m. on Friday instead of Thursday due to the tropical storm, hurricane, whatever it was.
And I assume you will send it out.
I'll send you an update. It should be this Friday the 11th.
Okay, very good. Mr. Hack, I do see that we had or do have a hearing scheduled for Wednesday. What's your thoughts? Okay. All right. Would we have enough for a quorum for that? I guess.
On Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay.
I will be out of town.
Okay, Mr. Battles.
I'll make a choice to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. And listen, if the weather gets bad and you feel like it's necessary, you let us know, Mr. Hack. Okay. All right. Any other meetings that need to be scheduled? Okay. All right. Now, but when we get ready to dismiss, where there's going to be a little reception for Mr. Battles in this area right over here, you're welcome to attend and to give him congratulations on his retirement. And so make sure you have an opportunity to come by and say goodbye to him for that.
Mr. President, I'd just like to say one other thing.
Sir.
I'll be moving into the Africatown community. In 2012, in 1979, I started the preservation effort for Africatown. I got all of the history on Africatown. Nobody in the whole county had the so I'm in the process of setting up a website now, and I've got a conference call with the city of Mobile on next Wednesday. They are the ones who, under the STORE Act, who will be in charge of establishing the new Welcome Center. Well, I ran the Welcome Center for 8 years, and we're going to talk about the history of Africatown and see can we really put it into a perspective so that when people come, they would understand that the history of Africatown is not particularly about slavery. It's about freedom. It's about a group of Africans who were forcibly brought to this country against the violation of the 1808 prohibition of slavery. But in the midst of Jim Crow, segregation, Reconstruction, and in the midst of indifference of the African-American community, they built a free community. And that's the story that I'll be working on.
Mr. Battles, I'd just like to say that, again, this board wants to wish you the best for your future endeavors, and we appreciate your service to the community, to the parents and the children, and this board and the decisions that were made. So best of luck to you for the future.
Thank you very much.
All right, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. The reception is right next door here.